Welcome to the official first season of the Homegirl Next Door podcast, a show where we have intimate conversations surrounding all things real estate and how it affects each of our lives. Each week, I'll be sharing my experiences as a real estate professional in this ever-changing housing climate, and will be periodically joined by my friends and colleagues in the industry discussing all the hot topics and sharing best tips and practices for the everyday consumer. I'm your homegirl and host, Shakira D, licensed New York realtor, and I love to welcome you into my home every Monday at 8 p.m. Grab your favorite drink and enjoy the conversation. What's up, homies? What's up, homegirls? I am so sorry that we did not have an episode on Monday, but what better day than to drop this week's new episode than on March 1st, the start of Women's History Month. And I'm proud to say that, yes, I'm a woman and I am doing amazing things like so many other amazing women out here who are amazing mothers, amazing wives, amazing girlfriends, amazing friends, amazing bosses and business women, and just women in general who are doing their thing, not taking any excuses, kicking down doors and crushing goals and just living life. Like, I'm proud to be amongst the many. And so happy Women's History Month. Today is the final episode of the first half of the season. I just want to, I say this probably every episode, but I truly thank everyone who tunes in and listens to the podcast. And I appreciate all feedback. And I'm happy to know that at least one of you is getting value from this. So this really was just like something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've had a couple of other podcasts in the past, but nothing that I felt I was doing like purposefully. And so I finally, I'm walking in my purpose and my calling. So I truly appreciate everyone who joins and listens and, all of that good stuff, right? So of course, let's jump in with some mortgage news, y'all. Interest rates are they still up? It's at a 6.85 for 30-year fix, and that's if you have good credit. I think I need to make that clear that the interest rates that you see a lot of the times are for consumers who have good credit scores, right? So your 30-year fix, again, is at a 6.85. Your 15 years at a 6.25%. Those are all up about a 0.05% increase. If you are going the FHA route, which I see a lot of buyers are reaching out asking about FHA loans, that's at a 6.33%, and the 30-year VA is at a 6.35%. So a little bit lower, but definitely those numbers are up. Those mortgage rates are up. Good news, though, however, home sales for January were up 8.1%. Which is a good thing. That means more buyers came into the market and they decided that they were going to purchase regardless of what was happening with mortgage rates, interest rates, inflation, and all of that. And so January was the second consecutive month that sales were up. Month over month, all across the United States, we're seeing increases, but home sales are down compared to a year ago. So it's headed in the right direction. We're seeing, positive improvements, but overall, of course, they're down from 2021, 2020. Year over year, they are down 24.1%. So that's just to give you, a realistic view of what it's like. And it's definitely also depending on what market you're in. There are some markets they're seeing a faster increase in home sales because they had a faster decrease in pricing because of the region that they're in. Whereas in other areas such as New York City, Georgia, the home sales are kind of up, but the prices are still up as well. So they're not as high as those other areas of the country who have been able to see a dramatic decrease in pricing. So I just wanted to put that out there, give you that little bit of mortgage news going into the spring market. I have been getting quite a few inquiries as far as like consumers and buyers wanting to get the process started. So I'm super excited to see that people are, coming out and they're like, I want to buy, please help me buy, right? So, yeah, that is your mortgage news for the day. So today's episode, you guys, I don't know if I've really talked about all of the things that real estate agents do. I feel like there's this huge misconception, and probably because of shows, like Selling Tampa or $1 Million Listing, that real estate agents pretty much just get cute, show some really nice houses, and eat and drink all day. And I wish that was the case for me. And I'm going to speak for at least 85 to 90% of real estate agents. That's not our reality, right? A lot of us are, first of all, we are independent contractors, meaning we are self employed, we own businesses and run our own business. And the majority of us do that alone. Um, for me, I currently only have an assistant who helps with scheduling, showings, checking emails, different things like that, making sure like my tasks are getting done. But for the most part, my business is ran by me. So from my client experience to my admin work, I do everything. So I kind of just wanted to shed some light on a few of the many different things a real estate agent does. So maybe um, everyday consumers can kind of appreciate us and appreciate what we do. If you have not already worked with me, or if you haven't done a consultation with me or even had a conversation with me, then you probably don't know that my work style, I'm very systematic and I'm very organized in my business. And so that comes out from the moment you have a conversation to the consultation. And I talked about all of that before. But a few other things that we do aside from scheduling and attending property viewings with our clients, that's probably the biggest one, because it's a business, it's a real estate business. So we are responsible for the properties that we show. And so, 9 times out of 10, you're never going to go into a property alone, right? Your realtor is going to be there because, again, we are responsible. We're responsible for opening that door and making sure that that property is left in the same condition it was when we scheduled and went to the showing. Aside from that, obviously if you're dealing with I don't even know how I want to say this. If you're dealing with a professional and expert real estate agent, then they know all about the local housing market, including all of these following things: current trends in their market, prices, and comparable sales. You guys will not believe how many agents I hear that are not talking about these things with their clients. My boyfriend introduced me to one of his coworkers who is actually working with a realtor, but he had questions about a property and he couldn't get his realtor to give him like a clear answer. And so my boyfriend was just like, hey, let me just ask my girlfriend for you. So he asked me, I looked into the information for him, and I actually met up with this person and we discussed not only the question he needed answered that he was waiting for his agent to respond to, but I literally, what is the word I'm trying to say? Basically in a 30-minute conversation, I did what his real estate agent should have been doing for the past 3 months. And I'm not saying like I'm stealing this guy's client, or anything like that, but it just amazes me that there are so many real estate agents who don't know anything about the market. And I mean, he's actually working with this agent and doesn't even have a pre-approval. So he doesn't even know what he qualifies for. They're like just looking at things and not even getting clear answers. So A real estate agent is someone who knows what's going on and can regurgitate it as if it's something they studied and researched on. Excuse me, guys. I don't know. The weather here has been real crazy. We had like 60 degrees for a few days. And then over this weekend, it just like snowed and ice and rain. And it was horrible. So hopefully I'm not coming down with anything, but we're going to get through this episode. Just excuse my pauses and my hems. We're going to try to take those out as much as possible. Right? Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Um, Another thing that we do, and I think is very necessary, is that we facilitate the completion of necessary paperwork and documentation for transactions. So, in a lot of states, quite a few states, realtors are responsible for contracts. In New York State, I will say 100 times it is an attorney state. So your realtor should never be preparing a contract for you because attorneys are required in New York. So that's one aspect of the business that a lot of us don't have to worry about, but it's good to know. So I study contracts all the time, different contracts, probate contracts, um, all different kinds of contracts I have been studying and going over. So if my clients ever have a question like, hey, what does this mean? And I can go through the contract, read it, and I'm able to use the legal terminology to explain it to them and then explain it to them in layman's terms, like my terms, Kira terms, like, hey, this is what this means, right? I mean, I always make sure they go to their attorneys to get further clarification. But in a lot of states, there's no attorneys. It's just your realtor. So your realtor is responsible for knowing what the heck all this paperwork means, knowing what documents you're signing, knowing, every point of the transaction, what you're getting into. So that is something that a realtor is responsible for and should be knowledgeable in. Um, Obviously, we help you in finding suitable properties that meet your needs and preferences. We can guide you, we can give you our expertise, but the final decision is up to you. So, you want to make sure that your realtor is at least guiding you in the right direction. And, even though you're saying you want a high ranch, obviously, Karen, you want a colonial. That's what you keep sending me. That's what we keep looking at. So no, you do not want a high ranch. So that kind of thing. Another thing we also do is coordinate and attend property inspections and appraisals if we are on the selling side, the listing side. I actually attended an appraisal and I was on the buying side, but it was because the listing agent couldn't come and I really wanted this deal to be done, right? So I went to the appraisal on behalf of the listing agent. Obviously, I didn't come with any comps because that's not my job. But just talking to the appraiser and, just getting his feedback, I already knew the house was going to appraise. So it was a benefit for me to be there for my client because it was just like, girl, we got this. Like, we got this. And it actually over appraised. So, woohoo, praise God for that. And then another thing that we also do, again, in terms of conditions of contracts and agreements for the buying and selling process, we write up offers. The initial offer is done and handled by the real estate agent. And if you have a good real estate agent, then you know what a strong offer looks like. And I talked about this in the last episode, but make sure you know what is in that offer. Make sure you sign off on that offer and you understand every aspect of that offer. It is such a pain when, if you're having your realtor submit an offer on your behalf and you don't understand that if this doesn't appraise, sis, you're going to be responsible for that appraisal contingency difference, right? And if your realtor doesn't explain that to you, if you don't ask questions like, what is this contingency? What does this mean? Then you can find yourself in a bit of a pickle, right? And now you're at odds with your realtor and everything is going to hell in a handbasket and there's so many fires and it's like, a California forest fire has just taking place and no one knows what's going on, right? So knowing what's in that offer, having a strong offer, that is something that really good real estate agents do, right? And then last but not least, and I think this is the most important outside of showing you properties, right? But providing ongoing support and guidance throughout not only the buying process, not only the selling process, but including after the transaction is complete. Now, I am not one to be annoying, so I will not like always every week or every month, hey, Anna, hey, Karen, how are you guys? How's everything? But I do check in. I do send different things. Like right now, the tax grievance period is open in New York City. So just making sure my clients know, like, hey, girl, hey, I know you are settling into your home and things are going smoothly. Go ahead and submit that paperwork to grieve your taxes. The deadline is, I think it's like March 31st this year. They always extend it, so I'm pretty sure they will extend it out here in Long Island. But grieve your taxes. Just sending them that quick reminder to grieve their taxes, especially if they feel like they're paying a little too much in taxes, property taxes, right? So, being there throughout the process and and beyond is super important for real estate agents, and it's what we do. And if you are, if you're a realtor who is relationship based, and this comes naturally. I As I'm going through the process with my clients, I'm learning about their family, I'm learning about their kids, their dynamics, all of that. And so when I check in, I can ask about those things. I can show I care because I truly, genuinely care. I care about my clients. I care about their families. I care about their well-being. And so I just make it my business to make their business my business, if that makes sense. If nosy neighbor was a person, it would be me, right? I'm not that nosy, but I do like to keep up and make sure that, my clients are always good, no matter what they need, even if it's outside of real estate, right? So that was a very short episode. I didn't want to keep you guys too long. I have a lot going on. I have finally fully made the transition over to my new brokerage. I am with EXP Realty now, and I have all of my systems set up, and I'm happy to say that they're working how I need them to work, but it's keeping me very, 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 very busy. I also have quite a few vacations. I'll be in Atlanta next week, and then I'll be in Orlando a few weeks after that. So I have a lot to prepare for, different things happening in my life, different things happening in my career. I'm super excited for my personal life as well. So I'm just on cloud nine, forever grateful to God for just always leading and guiding me. And even when I went astray, he always found a way to get me back on track. And so I pray the same is happening for you. I pray that wherever you are in your life, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish outside of real estate, right? Because real estate is just a small portion of my life and a small portion of a lot of our lives. But whatever it is that you are striving for, working towards, wanting to accomplish, or just want peace, right? Because peace is a big thing as well. Whatever it is, I pray that God gives it to you. I pray that He grants you His grace and His mercy and allows His blessings to rain down from heaven upon you and your family, your loved ones, those you are connected to. May this new season spring forth plentiful harvest for all of us, especially if you've been planting those seeds and you've been keeping faith and holding steadfast on God's promises and His vision for your life. May this be the season of a bumper harvest. And I love you guys to life, and I'm so grateful. If you have not checked out the past episodes, now is the time to get caught up. We talked about a lot with real estate. And I'm excited for for the second half of the season. Um, yeah, and we're not gonna talk about it, but when we come back, you guys, we're coming back. So enjoy the content. Make sure if you're not following me, you follow me on Instagram, Shakira D Realtor. I'm like 2 away from 1,000 followers, and it'll be I know I'm gonna get there before my 1 year anniversary. So I started my Instagram March of last year. So I'm so close to hitting my 1K goal in my first year in this 12-month period. And so if you're not following me, again, follow me, Shakira D Realtor. Everything else will be in the show notes, Facebook pages, all of that good stuff. You guys have a blessed and happy Women's History Month. Have a blessed month. And I will see you guys in April. Bye.